All right.
And we are live.
We are live. We are on air.
I am Storm Ramos. That is the coolest guy I know, Thomas Berger.
Yo.
And this is probably going to change. This is Monkey Brain Radio.
On air, something. Who knows?
On air. All right.
So how are you on this fine Friday afternoon, morning, something?
It's Friday afternoon now? Yes.
Yeah,
is.
it's 12. It's officially
okay.
afternoon.
I am doing very good. I'm feeling very good today. How are you?
Very nice. I am feeling pretty all right, despite the fact that we got woken up by a 8 a.m. fire alarm. That was cool.
That was very, very fun to experience. We woke up today at 8 a.m. on the dot to a blaring fire alarm from someone's shower. Decided to just set it off. It's great. I love it. Love the school.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They some delightful feat of architecture. They decided to install the smoke detectors directly outside of the bathrooms. So on mornings, if you take a long hot shower and you don't wait for the steam to dissipate and just open the door, it sets it off.
Ah, perfect. Okay, so the gimmick with the Monkey Brain podcast, because we need to have a gimmick if we're going to have any fun with this, is we are going to be doing something with our hands while we are talking. Today we are doing paper airplanes. The coolest of high school delinquency. Okay, now look up. How close do I have to say this thing? Look up any single paper airplane guide.
All right.
And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna make 3 paper airplanes.
Okay.
That's the one of the first round.
All right.
Then whoever can hit that little doorknob stopper right there directly with their paper airplane wins.
That one right there?
That little gray dot.
All right, cool. So while we do this, what's your first topic of the day? What do you want to talk about? What do you want to?
All right, I'm playing Mario Kart and I just hit into a question block.
Okay.
It's going on my head.
Yeah. Okay. We got a topics. We should have prepared these beforehand.
We should have.
Next time.
But that's the power of Monkey Brain. You don't. Today, okay, let's go with the tried and true. Let's talk about why books are the single greatest mode of media.
All right, we can talk about books. Books are cool.
So we talked about this beforehand. We practiced this, by the way. Books used to be like a really popular medium for no reason. Well, not for no reason.
Yeah, there was a reason. What do you mean no reason?
For a very long time, books were like pop culture. Think of like Twilight, 50 Shades.
Until like somewhere in the mid 2010s, books were there were pop culture books. Like if you remember The Hunger Games, if you remember Twilight, if you remember 50 Shades, Maze Runner too. Yeah. And there was this whole period where there were these really, really popular books, and they ended up getting movie adaptations, but the books themselves were popular. It wasn't just like, oh yeah, a book no one heard of that a producer decided to make a movie about. It was a book that people actively, were going around, taking up, requesting from the library, buying off bookstore shelves, and they would sell out.
They would like Harry Potter, how popular that got?
Well, that was
books places around the world would just sell out in a matter of seconds. People will line up around the bookstore, and then people got into like fistfights. I think someone got killed over someone spoiling the last chapter of Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, the book series ended in like 2004, right? Maybe 2004, 2005. I'm not going to fact check myself right now because I'm in the middle of making a paper airplane. And what happened was the movies went on until I believe early 2012 because they started making them in like the early 2000s.
When was the last one released?
The last movie?
Yeah.
I believe it was 2012, 2011. I had this conversation with someone else the other day.
2012 that the last Harry Potter movie?
Yeah, I remember watching the trailer on, in a commercial.
No way.
Yeah, it was.
What? Okay. That makes me feel cold. My back hurts already. But the thing is with a lot of with a lot of books is that when books, you can get your message across or whatever you want really easy.
Not necessarily. Sometimes you do have to have a bit of a gift to be able to be very visual in the way you write, because you are trying to convey visual information through nothing but, vivid descriptions, and you have to be good at that, and not everyone is good at that.
That's why people say like art is like the best medium. But if you have like Tolkien who can like make an entire world by like farting once in a while.
Yeah, Tolkien could probably come up with like a 3-paragraph description of like a glass cup. And see, that's the kind of detail I'm talking about. Like to be good at, to be good at literature, you have to be visually descriptive using nothing but text.
You ever think that how many books do you think you need to write to actually get successful?
That's actually an interesting question.
Like where do you go from like just run-of-the-mill fan fiction writer who makes like I don't know like My Little Pony, NSFW,
Oh God.
to full on like I don't know like Tolkien and who made Rowling to
Rowling?
like book levels.
Let's not talk about J.K. Rowling right now.
Okay, let's talk about it now. Actually,
Okay, we are going to talk about J.K.
yes,
Rowling.
now
Let's
we're going to talk
about
about
J.K. Rowling.
celebrities and like book celebrities and how they become so popular. You ever think about how Rowling kept on what's it called retconning? This is close enough. Kept on retconning her own books.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with Harry Potter in general.
Really?
Yeah, I would never actually I didn't watch the movies. I didn't read the books for the most part. I was never a Harry Potter kind of person. I don't know why. I know my brother was, because he grew up when the books were new. My dad actually is too. My dad's a huge fantasy sci-fi guy. That's probably where I got it, because I'm a huge sci-fi fan, which is probably why I didn't get into Harry Potter like a lot of other people did. I read a lot of science fiction stuff like Dune, Ender's Game,
I didn't know
The
Dune
Maze
was even
Runner.
a book.
Yeah, no, it was a book.
I found out the movie existed.
Fun fact: there was a movie. There was a Dune movie in the 70s, and it was 5 hours long. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And David Bowie was in it.
David Bowie?
David Bowie.
Who was he?
He played... Oh, crap. Who did he play? I want to say he played the pilot.
By the way, David Bowie's dead, right?
Yes.
Oh, guy, I don't know. Who's outside? David Bowie, when did he die?
2015.
What was he known for besides his acting?
You're kidding me, right?
Wasn't he a singer?
Yes, a very prolific singer. A man who sold the world.
Oh, he was. This is Ground Control to
Major Tom. Yeah, well, the entire Space Odyssey. Space Odyssey. Oddity? No, it is Space Odyssey.
I mean, 2001, like the whole.
No, Space Oddity. That's the song.
Oh.
Fun fact about that song: it's actually there are 3 different songs, and they tell the story.
What's the story of?
Major Tom.
Oh. As you can see, I am Monkey Brain, and this here is just brain. Nice fake laugh.
Thanks, Don. Okay, that was a voice crack and a half.
Oh, God. Speaking of Space Odyssey, have you seen 2001: Space Odyssey?
We've changed topics like 4 times.
Good. That's how these are supposed to go.
Okay, fine. The movie?
Yes.
I have seen the movie. It's a very good movie. I like that movie.
I saw it in like a film class, and I had no idea what was happening the entire movie, especially with like how they came out with sequels to it.
There were 2 books as sequels.
2 books as sequels?
Yeah.
To the movie? No, well, the movie came out first. The book came out first.
Book came out first. It was written by George Orwell.
I believe it was
written by Orwell.
1984. Yes. We live in a society, man.
Yes, 1984. We live in a society, man. The guy that censors you from talking about like Fruit Loops. That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
No.
Nothing's supposed to make sense in this podcast. This is a podcast or a radio show. What's the difference?
The difference between a podcast and a radio show is a radio show tends to be more structured. Well, no, they both have structure, but podcasts tend to be more of like a recorded internet show, and radio shows tend to be more like live on an actual radio station. Because right now, they don't actually. We could be live on a radio station right now, in addition to what's live on the internet right now.
So if
But
Joe
they
Rogan
don't
were to
have
go
the-
live in the middle of his podcast, he would be considered a radio show host.
Wait, who?
Joe Rogan.
Yeah. Also, podcasts tend to have a video element.
Do they? I thought they were almost always.
No, podcasts tend to have a video element. Yeah, it
Okay.
depends.
So here's a story I like to tell. I like to tell stories. I like to listen to podcasts.
What does that mean?
What is
I'm looking at the chat, and someone wrote some random thing.
Room today.
Whatever.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Fixation Tournament.
It's probably a bot.
Probably. Okay. One of my favorite stories to tell is I like listening to podcasts when I shower,
Okay.
and I was listening to who was I listening to? I don't remember, but they had an ad, and that was when Sprite Cranberry was coming out.
Oh god.
And while I'm taking a shower, my eyes are closed, and I'm washing my hair, and I don't know where I hear from and here's a word from our sponsors, and then it's just LeBron James going, "You know what makes me thirsty?" Oh. Oh my god.
All right. Let's go back to our original topic, books.
Books.
We were talking about pop culture books. We were talking about Harry Potter. Harry Potter was what we were currently on. Were you ever a big Harry Potter fan?
I was by proxy of my father who was, but myself, I never really got into it. He used to read it to me as bedtime stories when I was a kid.
That's a bit of an interesting bedtime story to read.
Because when you hear it all the time, it kind of gets boring.
Fair enough.
It's
So what did he
Pavlovian.
do? Did he read it by individual chapters to you? Did he
Until I fell asleep.
Okay. So he just started from the point he was last time, and he would just keep reading.
Yes. I screwed this up so hard.
Mine is very lopsided, but it still looks like a plane. Let's see if it actually goes.
All right, next one.
Damn.
I'll put that up later. We're gonna back ourselves. Don't you worry. Okay.
I'm gonna try a different design.
Have you ever seen one of those paper airplanes that you can make it to a blimp?
You mean like origami?
No. You build this really round thing.
Oh, and you put a candle under it, and then it turns into a hot air balloon.
That wasn't what I was going for. That was cool though.
I've seen people do that. Yeah.
You want to do that
But-
now?
No, we don't have any candles. I think that's a fire hazard in this. I think they would call it a fire hazard.
it would be a fire. Okay, so the only books I've actually the one book that I remember the most because I actually read that on my own free time. Currently, I'm reading The Hobbit because I'm a nerd.
Right. No, well, you're not a nerd. I wouldn't call you a nerd. You just like a lot of, fantasy, science fiction stuff. More fantasy than science fiction.
But what I read was The K.
The K.
Yes, it's about this.
The letter K or KAY or CAY?
CAY.
Okay, so
Like an island.
like an island. Right.
It was about this kid, this British kid during World War II, who his boat gets sunk by German U-boats, and when he wakes up, he's blind, and the only thing he can know is that he's on a raft with a cat and an old man who's been on that raft for years. Were you gonna say something?
No. I was gonna say, wasn't that wasn't the movie Life of Pi based off that premise?
Kind of, but Life of Pi went through a whole lot of fantasy stuff, and it went more across the world and did everything it wanted to do. But for the K, they were stuck on this one little watermelon shaped island, and they start beating each other up because they hate each other sometimes. But Stu, I forgot his name. His name was Anthony. He had a Jamaican accent. His name was Anthony. And his name was Stu Cat. And the cat's name was Stu Cat. And the kid learns how to adapt to being blind.
Right.
He gets together with Anthony a lot more. But then a really big tornado hits, and they're strapped to a tree, and wind's blowing, and plants are hitting them. They're getting whipped by branches. And when everything's said and done, Timothy has died in the tree, and his blindness starts to get better. He can kind of see things. The cat lives somehow. He doesn't know where the cat went or how.
So I'm assuming this blindness was either due to like a head injury or like starvation or lack of nutrition.
I think they explained it that when he was knocked out, his eyes he was looking up and his eyes were open. staring straight into the sun for a very
that
long
makes
time.
sense.
And then when they bring him back, they're reluctant to actually take him back because by that time he's a lot more tan. And they think he's black.
Oh wow.
And they don't want to bring him back. But then he says, yes, I'm this kid from this shipwreck. He's like, oh, wow, everyone died on that shipwreck.
Everyone died except you.
And he goes home, comes back, and happy ending. That's it.
When did you say you read this?
That was back when I was like a child. Like when I was like 10. I cried. I cried when Anthony died. So great.
When I was younger, I read a lot. I tended to read a lot. Like I believe I said this earlier, but I tended to read a lot of science fiction. I tended to read a lot of not that much fantasy. I was always very big on science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up reading a lot of the classics. I tried to read tried to read through the entirety of Ender's Game. And when I say the entirety of Ender's Game, I mean the entirety of the series. All, I believe, 4 or 5 books. It's a very long book series because I believe there's maybe more than 2,000 pages total if you read all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And they get very, very, very obtuse.
Really?
After a certain period of time. Yeah. It's similar to what happened with the Dune books, because there's multiple of those. There's like 6 or 7 of them.
There's 6 Dune books?
My dad, I believe my dad's read all of them.
I had no idea Dune actually even had that many books.
No, yeah, there's just Dune, and then there's Son of Dune, and then there's like Dune God Emperor. I forget the names in order, but the entire storyline between the like 6 or 7 books takes place in a 1 million year span.
What the?
Yeah. Frank Herbert, the guy that wrote the books, he was hi Herbert. This dude was crazy. He was so imaginative. He was so good at creating this modern sci-fi odyssey, and he put so much detail into it, into the lore of his books. I would love to actually go back and read the rest because I've only read the original. Sadly, I'd like to read the rest maybe this summer after semester ends. Another book, it's very good. It's not a serious book. There's a chance you might have read it. Have you ever read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy?
I've heard a lot about it, but I've never actually read it.
It is a U book. It's a
me book.
It's a U book.
As in how?
It is science fiction, of course, but it's comedy.
Comedy?
Yes. It's very dry humor, for the most part, anyway, because it was written by a British guy. British guy in the, I believe, late 70s, mid 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like, I believe, 4 books. But it originated as a radio show.
Did it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it was
like one of those 50s radio shows that they would say, introducing the man from outer space. He's like, he came from Mars.
No,
and he
actually,
shot my wife in the head.
Not like that. They actually had, I believe they had voice actors. So it was more of like just a TV show on the radio.
No, that's how it worked back then.
Did they?
Yeah.
See, I'm not very familiar with radio shows.
With the old school radio shows, and they would do these things, it would be and in this exciting episode, will the boy and girl escape the tickle monster? And then like some complete, like a pre-recorded dude and girl would voice over being chased by the tickle monster, and then some dude would voice the tickle monster itself, and they would be in a small room, voiceovers as it happened, and the other dude, kind of like those guys over there, they would be in a different room, and they'd say, oh no, the man was tickled to death by that tickle monster. Will he ever reclaim his nipples? I don't know.
I'd like to take a detour for 1 second to wish my brother a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Burger Brother.
My brother Kenneth, I believe he turned 36. 36, I think. 36. I might be wrong. I'm probably wrong. I'm bad at
You know, before we know, we're gonna end up being that age.
I hope not. I am gonna savor the time I have.
We're in the prime of our life, but look where we are, dude.
We're in a radio show, dude.
This is cool.
This is cool.
We're spending it. Okay. Okay. Every single plane does not.
Stop throwing your planes at me. Stop throwing your planes at me.
Ugh. Every plane design I find, they end up trying to make me use tape, and I don't have tape here. Okay. Changing subject yet again, because that's what we do here.
Mm.
I found a video
Mm.
from not too long ago. Yesterday, Jack showed it to me.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Nardwar at all?
Nardwar? No, I am not. I
He's
am
like
not.
this old dude who like interviews on the street with like celebrities. He
Okay.
got for a while he was really famous, but now he's like really niche now.
Mm.
But one time he was having an interview with Lil Uzi Vert. And-
He is a rapper, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not very familiar with rappers.
And I think Lil Uzi was under the influence of something.
Okay.
And while he's interviewing him, Lil Uzi's like confused. And at some point he says, Lil Uzi Vert, you're one of my favorite modern rappers. We got you this Rob Zombie poster. Lil Uzi Vert takes it, looks at it, and just goes "Wee!" for like 10 consecutive seconds. Not just staring at it, doesn't even look away from it. I'll pull it up in a second. It's these single hold on. Wow, running a radio show is hard.
I think pulling up a video in the middle of a radio show, I think that's kind of like poor taste on your if you do that on your phone while you're broadcasting.
That is true. I'm not gonna do that then. Thank you. See, I'm sweating. How long have we been on there for? 21 minutes.
We've
Okay.
been here for 20 minutes. that.
Where's the paper airplanes? Damn it! I need to get some new stuff. We should get a third person, can we? Can we get a third person? Because all the other things I've seen on WICR radio, it's all two people, or mostly two people. What? Okay. Oh, perfect. Here's the part with the awkward silence.
All right.
You have another one already? What?
I'm in the middle of making my second one.
Bastard. Why are you? Well, I don't think you can do that. Why are you so good at that?
I'm not good at it. I'm terrible. All of these planes are ending up lopsided, my dude.
You just threw one at the thing. I have yet to even do one. Okay. Wow, things change really fast when you're on the radio show. It's so fast paced,
Yeah.
but nothing's happening at the same time.
Well, that's because we are not stopping to like actually have a one topic for any length of time.
That's true, because it's hard to keep topic on one thing.
Well, we should try to keep more on topic if we're gonna have like a proper radio show.
Okay, so then let's get on that topic of boosh.
What?
The boosh.
The books? Oh, right.
Okay. How do we get books? How do we get the topic of books to be entertaining to a lot of people who don't read a lot of books?
How do we? We could.
Because lately books are just kind of like
Books have fallen to the wayside. Yeah, that's why we were.
really hard.
That's why we were talking about pop culture books.
Yes. Okay. Because now pop culture lasts for all of 2 seconds. Think of like current jokes and memes. Think of like Among Us. Among Us was funny for like 3 months, and then people stopped. People just like stopped altogether immediately and just forgot about it. Now imagine a book, which takes hours to read.
No one has the attention span for books anymore, which sucks.
Yeah, because like I sound like a boomer right now. I have like the hat for it. Nice hairstyle, looks like crap. Books take a lot of time to read compared to TikToks, which are 5 seconds at a time. And if one is funny enough, just maybe it'll be spread around to be made a meme for maybe 2 days that no one will find funny. They'll find funny for approximately 3 seconds and then just give up on it.
Yeah. Thing is with TikTok is from what I've from what I've heard, they purposefully do that to get you to wear your attention span a little bit and keep you like swiping to look for new things, because if you have a short attention span, you're going to get bored of something really quick. And then you're going to want to keep looking for new things. And because TikTok has such a short format service, you're going to want to keep looking through it.
TikTok is like the new Vine, but at least Vine was 6 seconds, like minimum. Remember that?
I do remember Vine. Oh dear God, Vine was super popular when I was in high school.
Because TikTok is literally just the new Vine.
I wouldn't say it is, but probably.
Why not?
Because Vine was more... A lot of people try... See, the thing is, Vine, with everything being forced to be 6 seconds, that was a limitation.
And limitation breeds creativity.
And limitations breed creativity, yes. So people got super creative by making 6-second comedy sketches.
Like King Bach.
Yeah, and they were clever. So there were a lot of clever 6-second comedy sketches. Now most of TikTok is just people like lip syncing to videos.
Yeah.
Or like reacting to other people's videos, or whatever the frig duets are. I had to like stop myself there so I didn't accidentally say a funny word.
How about we just call swear words just funny words?
Funny words? I like that. But yeah, it's designed to suck your attention in, whatever left of it you have.
Yeah, it does feel like attention spans are shortening. They have.
Well, that's mainly because the content we consume daily is short. Like I remember walking with a friend of mine my freshman year of college, and we were talking about like what humor would be in a few years.
Terrible.
And I said, in a few years, the entirety of comedy, the peak of comedy is just going to be like, I don't know, Spoon. And we were like, yeah, it's funny, it's random is funny, right? Haha, funny, random.
I blame that on like the 2006s. It's like,
well, we're back into the funny equals random kind of thing with those the 21st century humor videos. And if you don't know what those are, it's basically like a 20-second compilation
of just sound effects and like
of
random videos.
Stupid sound effects over random videos with visual effects tacked on. And it's just rapid fire, in your eyes, ears, overwhelming sensory overload. And it's just... We've gotten to a point where it's just quite literally pure random craziness.
For
the sake of pure random craziness is peak comedy. And I'm not saying pure random craziness was never not comedy, like,
I'm terrible at this. Why don't you...
Xavier Renegade Angel.
And the thing is, with a lot of those, the current crazy, funny, whatever, that's because there has to be like a method to the madness. Before it was just like the Laser Collection, like Fire My Laser or whatever.
Well, those were just like short skits.
Well, yeah, but
they were cohesive in a way.
At least, yeah. But now they have to be like Smiling Friends. Remember Smiling Friends?
Smiling Friends. Yeah, I watched Smiling Friends.
We watched it together. That was a whole series of just random jokes and all that, but there was at least a story so they contained.
The thing is with Smiling Friends is that was effectively a Newgrounds animation series on live television. And they made it work. They really made it work.
It was fun.
And something like that never would have panned out on live TV, especially in the early 2000s on Adult Swim.
Well, that's because they got supported super well by all the community.
Well, also don't forget, like, it's the target audience for Adult Swim is now the people that grew up with like Newgrounds internet content.
That's true.
The people that grew up with,
Salad Fingers and
all the other David
funnies.
Firth.
David Firth.
David Firth is a cool guy. We should talk about him at some point. We should talk about We should have an episode about internet culture once we actually sit down and start doing pure topics for the hour we're on or live. That's very angular, Storm.
My Frankenplane.
Frankenplane. I've been trying to work on this one, and I've been trying to follow the directions, and I'm not 100% sure as to what this one specific step is asking me to do.
Okay, we have reached the 30-minute mark. Let's take a quick break.
We're gonna take a quick break. We're gonna restart the stream.
Get some better material.
Get some better material. Dear God.
This is dry. All right. See.
See you people on the internet.
Stop immediately. Okay.